said, I've said this publicly, so he won't be mad. I go into his Facebook. He's never, you know that, because I've told you I'll go in and I'll be like, yo, babe, you got
he
this
has
message.
an account.
Yeah, he doesn't use it. And I'll be like, babe, look at all these friends from school. I don't care about them. I don't even talk to them every day. You know, Facebook does have that. He's like, I'm not friends with them no more.
Wow, yeah. They wanted to say hi to you, Len.
So then I checked his inbox, and I saw a message from one of his ex-girlfriends talking about, hey, how you doing? I was like, what is going on?
Did you tell him?
I told him, and he's like, I'm not even into Facebook. I'm like, how you doing? You don't know what she's trying to get at? And then...
oh, you're not into Facebook, huh?
So since I saw that, whenever we would take family pictures or we'll be out, I'll tag him so that whoever's his friend can see. The key is happily married.
That's why you tag him?
I tag him.
I'm still waiting for Len to accept my friend request, by the way.
You're not gonna. He's not interested. Don't you love people like that? Like, I want to be them. I got friends that are our age that are like...
He's faking it. Like, he's into it somehow. He's getting out of it.
He's into YouTube, I'll tell you that. So he can't even, like, over-spiritualize that Facebook thing. Wow, we're, like, talking to ourselves.
Because you're not doing your job. You're over here hassling me about being late.
Wow, okay. Isn't that funny, though? Like, how dangerous Facebook can be? Isn't that, like, it sounds so innocent, but it's that Facebook thing. Hey, how are you? Just to kind of check, you know? A lot of people get in trouble for that. Daniel's here. Charles is here. Mike Novella says good morning. Charles says, good morning. Back from my vacation. How did you all survive without me?
Oh, yeah, Charles, honestly, it was pretty rough around here.
It was boring. Brian struggled because he needs affirmations. I don't. So
and there's the other part of this. Remember the first time I spent time with Len and Jannelle as a couple, we had a little private congratulations dinner for her getting the job and everything. And Len goes, Brian, listen. Brian. Jannelle. She not funny.
Oh my gosh.
And I just kind of laughed. He goes, no, listen, man. She not funny. Yeah. And so we need you, Charles, because you're funny. My wife actually
hilarious.
Commented. She's like, well, that Charles guy's pretty funny.
He is funny. Charles says, you know good and well he ain't going nowhere. He ain't think about that girl. Janet says, what did Brian do?
Oh, yeah, it's the title of the thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
We'll get to that in a second. But I will say, Charles, that I also am really nice to you because there was that one time, remember you said the entire black community is going to get me?
Yes.
I just want to keep you on my good side, bro, because I don't want to... I want... Can I touch your hair yet, Charles? Charles! Charles!
Oh, gosh.
No, we're not going to do that.
That's a fight right there. Okay. I told you, I'm not big about don't touch my hair. What I am big about is, like, Lenoir and I sometimes will be wrestling or playing around, and all he has to do to end it is wet his hair and try to splash me. It's over. It ain't funny. Because my hair, you know, I flat iron my hair, so he knows. So try that. Sandy says, what creeps me out is when I get a Facebook friend request from some random guy who likes a comment left on a public post. Yeah, that is weird. I've blocked a few of those out. Like, I just block them. Just do not touch Jannelle's hair. Don't touch.
And then I'm okay with the black community, if that's... Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so people want to know what's up. Deborah says there's a time and place for social media, but it's hard now with all the checking. Plus, when too concerned, then you may miss what God would want you to do. I agree. True. Social media is a trip.
But no, so I on the show today I did something sneaky. I like being sneaky. Do you think that's something you'd say about me if I went around like Brian?
Yes.
Sneaky?
Yeah.
What do I do as sneaky? I try to get you all the time.
Yeah, so I'll say stuff off air, and then he'll be like, oh yeah, and then look all normal, and then the mic comes on, he's like, yeah, you just said something. Whoa.
I do that to her.
Oh, it's trying to catch people, do stuff. I'm over here minding my business. He'll take his phone, take a picture. You gotta watch
I did that today.
Brian. You did? See what I'm talking about? Mad sneaky.
She got a notification that she has 165 compromised passwords.
What?
Look at this. That came up on the screen.
Compromised passwords?
I'm trying to talk to Dr. Rydelnik, and she gets a notification that she's got not one or two, but 165.
Compromise password.
And so she just clicked the X. Just forget it. Whatever.
Oh my gosh. He's always, you know what it is? He's always on this side of the table. He's those people you gotta be like, you stay over there. You don't. You sneaky, you nosy.
And so here's what I like to do too. There's topics on the show.
Sarah
what?
is on, and she said, Jannelle, you should try to touch Brian's hair. Kathy says, I'm mostly Facebook friends with people I actually know. I touched it.
Have you ever touched white hair?
Aw.
Why did you say, like it's on my dog or something?
Your son has nice hair. I would touch his hair all the time. But I know what do you guys feel about that?
What?
Like if I went up and I went like this, that's what I want to do sometimes. There was a friend I had.
I wouldn't like if you did that, but if it was messed up, you could do that.
That's fun to do.
It's easy to fix
like
it.
your son's hair to go like this, it just feels.
If it gets wet, just dry it.
And then I was gonna say that I had a friend that had a lot of hair like you, but he shaved it to go to DR, and people wanted to constantly go up to him and go like this because of the fuzz. It felt so nice.
Well, I told you when Grace was little in her Sunday school class in the black church, she was like convinced for a year or two that she had like the best hair in America.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be like, everyone loves my hair. And it was all the little girls around her wanted to touch her hair, and so they actually asked us to have her wear it up so it would stop being a distraction to Sunday school. So, okay, so I'm sneaky. We've just established that I'm sneaky. I'll talk about anything on the radio, anything. But I know that there's certain topics that are, like if you even give the title or the word tied to it, it's such a lightning rod that you're going to lose people immediately. They've already made decisions about stuff, but I like taking stuff that's controversial and not being scared of it. Pick it up and just look at it from all angles and decide, is it scary? Should I hate it? Are there any aspects of this that are worth examining? A lot of people, what they do is they go, scary idea, flush. All parts of it. Get away, run. Scary.
Yeah.
Not me. I think the gospel is true, and I don't think any other ideas threaten me or my faith in Christ.
I ain't scared. I ain't scared. That's what you gotta say.
Especially when it's just me and Jannelle in this room and you can't touch me. I'm not scared of you when you're not in front of me. See how that works? So today the word that I talked about without talking about it is buckle up. You may want to sit down because it's gonna upset you. So that upsets lots of people.
It does. It does.
Prepare yourself. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Reparations. Thank you. It's been a great day.
Yeah.
But no, what we talked about was there's a city in Illinois, in Evanston, that has got a policy they've approved that they're calling reparations, but it's specifically targeted grants for people who can ultimately prove that their family were direct descendants of people who lived in that municipality between 1919 and 1969 and suffered from housing discrimination. You can get up to a $25,000 grant tied to home ownership, home improvement, mortgage assistance for African Americans in that area as a form of reparations. Why? Because I went through in great detail. There is indisputable evidence, indisputable facts that there was dramatic discrimination in housing, whether it's mortgage lending, redlining in neighborhoods, whatever it was, for African Americans post-World War II to be able to own a home. And home ownership creates generational wealth.
Callie! Go ahead.
And so I told the story backwards. I didn't mention the name until the end, because oftentimes if you look at an idea without the word, it's more palatable. I've done that before where I know that there's particular people that if I say their name, you'll say, oh, I agree. Who said that? D.L. Moody said that? I like it.
Yeah. Whatever he said.
So what I did was I took a name that everybody loves in Christendom. They said something I think that was not wise. So we just talked about what they said. And everybody was like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't say that. I wouldn't say that. And at the end I said the name and everybody's like, oh, maybe it is bad. I think sometimes you gotta do that.
I'm going to say something in parentheses real quick. You should try out for one of Tyler Perry's movies. The way you like imitate people,
Jannelle.
You look like you
I
should.
know you might be distracted by this, but I'm not black.
What?
Are there white people in his movies?
Yo, that's a good question. Because I heard what he be doing, which is tight. But I'm just saying.
Well, no, I'm not mad at him.
I think he would look at you and be like, "You're like basically black." You got the part. Yo, the way you act is like one of his crazy characters. You got some acting skills. So people are calling for Kelly, the Kelly and friends to the show. Brian, Jannelle, and Kelly's show. Charles says she did a great job and that she should get more airtime.
Aw, thanks, Charles.
Well, that's super nice.
Thanks, Rachel.
Were you listening to anything I just said? Wow.
Aw.
Hey, Kelly, yeah, Kelly's
Thank
great.
you.
Like
Charles
that.
says,
I
yes,
like
Jannelle, he should. You do not need to be. Oh, I see that? You don't need to be.
He is clear. Thanks a lot, Charles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Need I remind you that I was James Brown live in concert, third row, age 16.
Oh, wow.
Been to Africa twice.
Tina, what's up? She says, can you post the link or name of the article? And Callie says, Tyler Perry does have some funny movies. He does. Man, he's tight. And although I don't see his movies, I've seen his interviews.
I don't think he wants me in his movies.
No, yeah, you talented. Act like,
I see
do
him
like a
in an
Medea
interview.
kind of.
Medea.
Really?
Wow.
No, you do it.
Would you
do.
be shocked if I told you I haven't watched any Medea movies?
I haven't either, though.
Okay.
I'm not.
I lived a
I've
couple
heard him.
blocks from where they filmed all the barbershop movies.
What?
The barbershop movies were filmed in the south side of Chicago. I'm
Yeah.
like, if Sarah were here, she'd remember. I know she's here. I think it was
She
on
is
like,
here. She is here.
was it 79th Street? And we were on 91st.
Oh, wow.
So we're not too far away from where they filmed that.
So, he actually. Oh. Okay, so first, Daniel says, Brian, you're a great radio personality and thinker. We're all impressed by your ability to string us along over multiple commercial breaks.
Thank you.
Yeah, Daniel. Woo! Sarah says, and reparations when guilt is admitted and repented of is biblical. Why do Christians fight the idea so much?
Yeah, Sarah, there's words like that I can't say because Christians won't listen. And I feel like there's lots of room for discussion about what reparations would look like. There's policies that somebody could propose that I would not like at all, that might not even represent justice. But a municipality finding a way to bridge the gap and repair the damage done to their residents when you can even prove it was done.
That's tight.
Who would hate that?
Yeah.
And it's not like they're going, here's all our tax money. They're actually funding these grants of, the max is $25,000. It's not like it's an earth-shattering amount of money. I know it's a lot of money, but still when you're buying a house, that's not that much. And they're funding it with taxes on cannabis.
Yeah.
It's not like they're taking my tax money.
Yeah. Daniel says, I've always thought that cities are great places to experiment with stuff. Lana says, Brian's approach to reparations was perfect. This approach needs to go national, and Evanston's initiative copied across the nation. Yay, Brian!
Thank you, Lana. Yeah, and if you heard the segment, there was a specific reason I told the story the way I did. You start with history, then you talk about the policy of what they're doing there, but you don't call it reparations. Although I'm trying to prevent people from losing their minds about that phrase. There's white people and black people who get nuts about the word reparations on all sides of the issue. And again, my question is, as a Christian, can I pick up a topic, not be scared of it, and look at it from different angles to see if there's any parts of it I can find wisdom in or good thinking in? I don't have to just be all or nothing. I don't think that's the way we live as Christians. What?
Miss Theola's here. What's up? And you're clear. Yes, we got that.
You want to touch my hair again?
No, thank you. And once you do, we might let you touch her hair. No.
Once I what? What do I have
Once you
to
do a Medea movie. And then Charles says that's because the Medea movies are not good. I mean, they do really well.
Wow. So, Charles, if I can somehow get, what if I'm an extra in a Tyler Perry movie? At the end it'll say random white guy.
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
awkward white guy or whatever.
You could be.
I get to touch your hair?
Wow.
That's all it takes?
Mike says the title should be is reparations a 4-letter word. Ooh. Charles says the family of the Jeffersons will not even let the black relatives in the family cemetery.
Yeah.
Even though his wife and women he had children with are both related.
Yeah. There's a huge dispute in the descendants
Today?
of the Jefferson family. Oh, sure. It's
I
only
thought
been in
they were-
recent years there's been some reconciliation
Oh,
with the
I was about to
descendants
say.
of Jefferson and Sally Hemings, his slave, with whom he fathered a number of children, and then somebody else, whatever his wife or
Crazy.
whatever. I don't know. I don't remember names that well.
Yeah.
What's your name again?
That is crazy. Callie says she loved Paul Carter this morning.
He was great.
She
Paul's
also
the man.
says, that Tyler Perry does have some funny movies. Yeah, or you could also be that white guy in Coming to America in the barbershop. I could see
There was a
you
white guy
talking
in the
about.
bar. Oh, the old white guy in the
Yeah.
barbershop. What was he doing in there?
That's a good question, man. He was like you, basically like a brother.
If I went into a black barbershop,
Yo,
barbershop,
they'd be like,
would they know how to cut my hair?
I wonder if they'll ask you, do you want a fade?
Ooh, get a fade.
Like-
Fades are in.
Seriously.
Would they cut your hair? Yeah, they would.
Well, no, I mean they would cut it, but would it be like, what do I do with all this weird white hair? You know what I mean?
I know that my son Josiah has hair like yours, more than his brothers. I'm going somewhere with this. So Len has to. No, listen, this is true because I don't want to call it white hair. You know, like his hair is like. How do you want me to call it? What I'm saying is when Len used to cut his hair, he would have to use scissors versus the clippers.
Yeah, it's
So
less
it kinda
coarse.
threw
His hair is
him.
less coarse.
Yeah, and so that with
We
the
talk about black hair a lot on the show.
you started it. I mean, I'm just.
You know
trying-
what we could change the subject to? I have an idea. Let's talk about how you eat mangoes. Janelle, why don't you start us?
Oh my goodness. Daniel says European. Well, yeah, his hair is just different. But I'm saying, yeah, they would cut your hair. It would just be different the way they cut it. Janet says, can you teach my homeschooler history?
Oh, Janet, you're on Team Brian. I'm sure
Aw.
something could be arranged.
Charles says, look at Cleveland Heights. Black and Jewish people have lived together in communities for a long time. That is why he was in the shop. Cleveland Heights, Shaker Heights is a leader in that awesome.
There's actually a long history in New York of tension in the black and Jewish communities between
Oh.
each other for a number of reasons. Interesting.
Rachel says, that's really good, Brian. But what about someone that lacks discernment? Could they make some decisions that would be wrong?
Related to reparations?
Yeah.
Oh, or maybe in terms of like picking up an issue and looking at it. Yeah, which is why I think I like discussion better than just like private interpretation. Like what we do here is we chew on ideas as Christians to test them with the scriptures to see how they fit and how they feel. She'd tell me if I was crazy.
I would. Yes.
She does every day.
I love that part of my job.
She said on a commercial break today, we got to a break, my wife was texting me, so I was texting my wife. But she was in mid-sentence. So I do this to her a lot.
I hope you're not going to say what I told you. I call him stuff.
Like,
Go ahead.
and it was rude. I mean,
That you were ignoring me?
there's times when she's talking to me and all of a sudden mid-sentence I just kind of go, you know it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And so she goes, oh, I could just hit you when you ignore me.
I thought you were going to say the other thing.
Maybe, I don't think I heard the other thing. I wasn't
You
listening.
did it? Oh, wow. Tagine is the only way to eat mangoes. Tagine?
No, Charles, you missed this. You're going to have, Charles, I would
Oh,
highly encourage
my
you to go
gosh.
back to yesterday's overtime and listen to that. All I got to tell you is that Jannelle only eats mangoes in the shower.
It's amazing. Oh,
you need
it's
to
so
go watch
awesome.
yesterday's overtime and just see the whole mess unfold.
It is so awesome. And I know there's people out there that are going to start doing it and they just won't say nothing because they're shy. You're welcome for the tip. Thank you.
I told Sarah about that. She's like, that's so weird. She's like, I don't think I've ever eaten anything in the shower.
What? No, like I thought
What
about
else
that.
do you eat in there?
Okay, listen. So when I was a stay-at-home mom and Len was working night times and I was exhausted, and I know I'm not crazy. I would go in the bath because we have those old shaker baths that are deep and awesome, and go in there with like my chocolate pretzels.
Okay, I'm not talking about a bath.
And like,
You said
no,
shower.
No, shower's better for
What
the
else do you eat in the
Because
shower?
if you eat it in the bath, then the stuff is sitting with you in
Do you
there.
see Charles?
Oh, yes, and the multitude of counselors, Rachel says. Charles says, what?
What else do you eat in the shower?
The mango.
Chips?
Just the mango. No, they're going to
Sandwiches?
get soggy. What the? No, it's the mango, so the stuff can.
Peaches?
Because then you can grub and like just wash it
So
off.
do you, so you're like not eating it. You're going like, you're like,
I just don't like.
what does
when
that mean
stuff
you can grub?
drip. Like you don't have to worry about like being all careful and like getting all yucky.
Like, cute.
Yeah,
And
you
stuff.
Do
can
you-
just
Yeah,
eat.
just-
Oh,
Do you
it's
peel it? So you
good.
peel it like you do the whole process
And I cut it like
in the shower.
Yeah.
Do you have a plate in there? Or you cut it like you hold it and cut it?
I don't know why.
You bring in
He
the
thinks
cutting
a
board.
lot. He's the same one that's like when you
You
eat.
got a cutting board.
Mike says ice cream sandwiches hidden by a leaf of lettuce. Oh, you saw my post. Look, you would like this.
I saw it before.
My kids are so annoying. So when it said unemployed lazy people, no.
It shows somebody eating an ice cream sandwich in front of their kid, but they have a piece of lettuce hiding it.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
You know why I'm a little annoyed? Because our teenagers are the main ones, and they're mad big, and they got mad requests, want to go all over the place, and got no money. You know, like, so when I saw that picture, Danielle says her mangoes are so juicy that she has to eat them in the showers. It kind of makes sense. Thank
No.
you, Danielle.
Daniel.
Woo!
No, it doesn't.
Wow, Charles says he's done. It's like, I'm done.
Do you ever eat watermelon in the shower?
Oh, that would be fun. I'm not into it. I just like mangoes.
That's a lot to like.
And mangoes are easy. I mean, watermelons are easier.
Build me a table in the shower.
Deborah says, well, eating mango in the shower, the mango's so sticky. Thank you.
Deborah.
So you can just rinse it off. Thank you. Not something I would do. I can see it being so wet that it would slip on the floor. Ugh. Yeah, no.
Does that ever happen? Do you ever drop your mango in the shower?
Probably. You can just wash it. It's hot water. I'm saying.
What
it
else
does
do you?
sound nasty.
What else do you eat in the shower?
And then, wow, Callie says she eats sour cream chips.
She's making fun of you because you said sour cream
I
chips
know.
yesterday. It's not a thing. You know what else you do that's so funny? You said on the radio once.
What?
She eats in bed, but what she does is she has like chips or crackers on Len's side.
And then it'll be like, he asked me one day, with all these crumbs, there's like a lot of crumbs in this bed.
So she gets in the bed, on Len's side of the bed, and just grubbing on her chips and crumbs, just crumbs everywhere.
Oh my God.
And then when she's done, she goes on her side. And then you just pull the covers back,
Oh
right?
my God.
You just put the covers back up?
Yeah. I'm like, he can't tell. You know what it is? He sleeps with his clothes on, so he can't tell. Yeah, he sleeps straight up with all his clothes on.
Why?
Because
He's got to be ready.
He has a thing where he'll just get knocked out. Since we were married, so he would be like on the on the couch or on his knees or in the car. He will fall asleep in the car. It's really dysfunctional.
Give me that, Charles. What would you do, Charles?
Look, Daniel says I'm a genius. Wow.
Daniel, I do not recommend eating chips on your wife's side of the bed, bro. Not a good move. Charles, what would your wife do if all of a sudden she's like, where all these crumbs come from? And you're like, oh, baby, I didn't say chips on your side of the bed. I don't want my side to get crummy.
Okay. I stopped doing that though. I got my life more
What else
together.
you do?
I do a light. It's driving Len kind of nuts. Oh my gosh.
You are so entertaining.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Poor Len.
I know.
You're always stealing his chapstick, right?
Yes, I always take his chapstick. Oh, I gotta remember. Rob says Marcy does the same to me and Len go to sleep anywhere. Thank you. Anywhere. He'll fall asleep in the car and stay there till like 2. And the only reason he wakes up is because it gets cold. Like, it just wakes every time. Daniel says I'd blame the dogs.
Wow.
And Charles is still stuck on eating in the shower. You guys are missing
Charles,
out.
I talked about it all day
Wow,
yesterday.
you guys are missing out.
Sarah and I were just marveling at this. She's like, Brian, I don't think I've ever even thought of eating in the shower.
Like Len will tell me, why do you do that? No, who does that in the shower? And I'm like, but who sets the rule? Who says you can't eat in the shower? Like, why are you limiting the spaces where you can eat? I don't understand that. Who gets to set that rule? Who gets to tell me no, you can't eat in the shower? Why? Have you thought through that rule? Have you thought through that?
I can't believe
Thank you. Exactly.
I can't believe Rob's wife is doing the same thing. Rob, you put up with this? Your
Wow,
wife?
people are really saying this is crazy. You guys, I don't understand. You guys,
I can understand like a really nice bathtub with bubbles. Like you had the shelf thing. like a warm cup of tea.
Yeah,
Like you're not, like
dude.
you're just relaxing.
I could see
Like, I'm in
you.
the shower, like it's like
I ain't in the shower.
I got this idea where Jannelle, she's in the shower, she's got like cabinets. She's taking out her bread, she's grabbing some mayo, making a sandwich.
And you know
We're
what?
going like,
Or I've had times, and this is going to sound so desperate, but it just is, where I will hide in the shower. I don't do that anymore because now, when you got a lot of kids, you start getting ignorant and you just stop caring. So I've told y'all, I will go get Chipotle in front of them, make them go and get it for me and eat it in front of them. Back in the day when I used to care, I would go in the bathroom to escape and eat my snacks. So I know I'm not crazy. People eat in the shower. Moms, think about it.
Jannelle.
You got snacks.
no one has agreed with you they've eaten in the shower. Do you see what my wife said? Look at my wife's comment.
I think the rule is don't eat naked. Oh, I do that in the bed. Oh my gosh! Len is gonna kill me. Oh my god!
What did you just...
I didn't mean that. I'm not even gonna explain that. There's a reason.
There's a new layer added. You eat those chips.
There is a reason why I said that, and oh my god, I didn't mean that the way it came out. You guys are so. Oh my gosh! Charles says it is bad because now all I see. Oh my gosh, that's what Len didn't want. He's like Jannelle. Wow.
Eva, that slipped out.
Oh, wow.
You're not.
Oh my gosh. It was supposed to, it's actually, there's an innocent explanation. You are dumb.
I didn't say anything. Oh, it hurts.
Oh my god.
Oh, it hurts.
I'll just stop.
Okay, I gotta stop.
Oh, Miss Diola's like, oh my. It's not as bad as it sounds, I promise. Wow.